Now, Professor.
Yeah, thank you very much. I concentrated my presentation not specifically to this region. I believe we have the next meeting exactly linked with this, and I would be very interested to inform you on my experience I got in those days in the region. This is without any doubt, but ask what are the reasons that we did something like ethics integrating in this decision. You must be aware that after Chernobyl, we had something like a double paradigm shift. We had a paradigm shift with regard to technologies. Yes, it was a huge question, are there alternatives for electricity production also another way? But also we had a paradigm shift in our society, because people were convinced that they have to be much better involved in the decision-making process. It was very clear that we have to go much more to a decentralized system where they can participate. I didn't mention that, for example, we have a huge increase of cooperatives for energy. The people themselves invest some money, and they are developing for their hometowns energy systems. Not only easy to integrate later in a big system for an industrialized country, by the way, but so it was very clear that we have to do more than only to ask for economy and for finance and for the return on investment. But also to ask, is that what we call, we make always environment impact assessments. We are convinced that we must make much more democracy impact assessments. What are the consequences of the decision for democracy? And as long as you come to this, we have no alternative. You are going more or less in a negative consequence of the democracy impact assessment. This was clear, but nevertheless, when the Chancellor decided to have her ethics commission, it was a huge discussion at home as well, because that was the first time, and lots of people were convinced that's only for political reasons, that she wants to overcome other problems with this. I believe we proved that this was much more than only a tactical maneuver of a politician. And coming back to the question not asked directly to me, but I would like to add one sentence. You see, if you are in this region, you see everywhere that this is now in its structure based on the big utilities of those nuclear power plants. If you change this, you change the structure altogether. That gives you a lot of other economic advantages. You cannot only say, but this is now decentralized produced electricity that needs another system, what I tried a little bit to single out with smart grids and others. So there is a lot of attractivity for young people. We see those regions deciding to be energy autark, attract young people. They want to be in this development process. I'm quite happy about this. And I can only underline once more. Yes, if you ask only one city after the other to respond to this disaster, you don't have an integrated option. That was our result. I believe I say our result because we were there with the group. If you go to integration of the communities, then you have also the other topics. Nevertheless, only to mention it, old people are very, very linked with the places where they grew up, where they lived, and so we have to be very careful, I believe, at least at home, to handle this with care. If you go to these places, you see that nature takes over already now. That does not give the signal that there might be a new perspective for the region. So I believe it is to combine the new structure with the process to come from the old structure to the new structure, to bring the people with you in the existing communities. Only to add this in some very defensive and very polite manner. I'm here only for 2 days, and I don't want to be better informed than those specialists living here the whole life. But it was very, very necessary to be there and to see that there must be not only the question, how do we decontaminate this, but we must have a broader question, what is the perspective of the region after this disaster? And this can be a very positive result. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Teffer. for your reaction, and at the same time, thank you all the panelists to your response. At the end of this session, I'm supposed to make a summary of the session. However, I decided not to do so because if I make some summary, but I may lose some other important points. Rather than doing so, these discussions will be included in the record and also reflected to the report of the ISAP 2012. At the same time, as I said that at the beginning, I would like to use your own summary for your active participation in the following sessions today and tomorrow. Having said that, I would like to conclude this session by thanking to the panelists. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Takemoto-sama, 講演者の皆さん。Mr. Takemoto and the speakers, thank you very much.